beauties, welcome to my channel. I'm Zoya Day, licensed esthetician, and this is Dee's Beauty Room, your #1 source for professional skincare advice, product knowledge, and esthetician tips. And in today's video, we're going to be discussing the different properties of hyperpigmentation and what ingredients work best to treat it. But before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and let's get into today's video. So before we talk about the different types of hyperpigmentation and the best ways to treat it, let's talk about what it actually is. So hyperpigmentation is when the skin overproduces melanin, creating dark patches or marks on the skin. Most of the time it can be harmless and cause no real health issues, but we'll talk about that a little later into the video. There are a lot of different things that can cause hyperpigmentation, like acne scarring, getting a cut or mark on the skin, medication, and even hormones. But it's always best to see a licensed professional or your medical practitioner so they can better evaluate your skin and any underlying medical conditions you might have. Also keep in mind, skin with more melanin tends to be a little more prone to hyperpigmentation, but it is something that can appear within all skin tones. There are 3 different types of hyperpigmentation, and the first one we're going to talk about is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. This type of hyperpigmentation is caused when there is inflammation to the skin. So for example, things like popping a pimple, getting a scratch, or even a rash can cause inflammation, but inflammation isn't always a bad thing. That's the body's natural way of fighting off infections and bacteria within the skin. And post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, or PIH, is also most commonly found in medium to darker skin tones. And the deeper the inflammation within the skin, the longer and harder it is going to take to treat. Now, the next type of hyperpigmentation is post-inflammatory erythema. This type of hyperpigmentation isn't caused by an overproduction of melanin. It's actually caused by inflammation to the surrounding capillaries and blood vessels on the skin. And this is usually caused by acne, cuts, and aggressive physical exfoliation on the skin. And all this means is that the skin is repairing itself by dilating the blood vessels and increasing the blood flow in the area of trauma on the skin. Now, this is usually a more pink to reddish flesh tone and happens on the more fair to lighter skin, but it's still possible to show up on all skin types. Now, the third type of hyperpigmentation is called melasma. And this type of hyperpigmentation can be very large and spread out over the face and body, and is usually more of a grayish brown color, and most commonly happens with women. And just like PIH, it's an overproduction of melanin within the skin and can also be caused by overexposure to the sun. And it's a little harder to treat within the skin. And it's also known as the pregnancy mask because it commonly happens with pregnant women, but it usually only lasts the length of their pregnancy. And this is only because the hormones within the body are always changing. Now that we went over the different types of hyperpigmentation, let's talk about the best treatments and what ingredients to look for when it comes to treating and dealing with hyperpigmentation. Now, if you've been following skincare and following me for a while, then you know by now that the skin repairs itself every 28 days. And all that means is that the skin is naturally shedding, which means the hyperpigmentation that you have within the skin will lighten over time. But if you wait for nature and your skin to take its course, then it's going to be a really long time before you start seeing any type of results. And that's where different types of treatments and procedures come into play. And there are a few different types of treatments you can receive from a licensed esthetician, like chemical peels, microdermabrasion, dermaplaning, microneedling, and even some laser treatments. And as stated in previous videos, you want to make sure that you are seeking a licensed professional so that they can take a look at your skin and recommend the best treatment options for your skin. Now, when it comes to products treating PIH or post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, you're going to want to look for ingredients like azelaic acid, kojic acid, vitamin C, and even certain retinols. Now, you can find most of these type of ingredients in serums, toners, and even some cleansers, but we'll talk about that a little more in the video. Now, keep in mind, when doing different types of treatments and using different kind of products for hyperpigmentation, you always want to wear sunscreen because the UV rays from the sun can actually darken and worsen your hyperpigmentation. Now, treating PIE is going to be a little different. You're not going to really be treating hyperpigmentation. You're going to be treating the inflammation associated with it. So you're going to want to use things that are really calming and hydrating on the skin, and avoid picking any type of breakouts or anything on your skin. But you should know that already. You're going to want to avoid ingredients like harsh non-fatty alcohols and strong astringents like witch hazel and concentrated ingredients like citrus, tea tree, or any other type of essential oils. Now the first ingredient we're going to be talking about to treat hyperpigmentation is a little on the controversial side because of its side effects, but it's considered a really big holy grail when it comes to treating and lightening hyperpigmentation. And that's going to be hydroquinone. And this ingredient helps treat dark marks by blocking the production of melanin within the skin. But the side effects raise a few red flags, like it can cause long-term skin irritation and sensitivity, and if you're pregnant you definitely don't want to use this product at all. And the use of it is actually banned in Europe, so keep that in mind when looking into products that have this ingredient. And if you have sensitive skin, I definitely will steer clear from it. Now our next ingredient is commonly found in Asian and Korean skincare products, and that's arbutin. Now this is a more natural ingredient that is extracted from things like blueberries and cranberries, and it helps to lighten and brighten the skin by slowing down the production of melanin. And this is actually a really great alternative to use the hydroquinone. Now the next ingredient is kojic acid, and this has been gaining a lot of popularity in the beauty community because it's a natural skin lightening ingredient and can be found in a lot of things including body wash, serums, and even face soaps. Now another great ingredient that's been gaining a lot of popularity is great for treating things like acne, rosacea, and melasma, and that's going to be azelaic acid. Now azelaic acid is going to be really great at treating acne and the things that come from it, like scarring and dark marks. Another really great way to treat hyperpigmentation is using HAAs, which honestly are my favorite type of acids because they have so many benefits other than treating hyperpigmentation. AHA is naturally extracted from things like plants and fruits, and they help treat hyperpigmentation by assisting in cell turnover. And another really good way of treating hyperpigmentation is incorporating things like vitamin A, B, and C into your skincare routine. And kind of like AHAs, vitamin A, B, and C help the skin by aiding in cell turnover. Now, like I stated before, always remember to wear sunscreen when using any type of skin lightening products or ingredients or doing any type of skin lightening treatments. And if you found the tips and information in this video useful, make sure you hit that like button. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram where I'm posting daily skincare tips and advice. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video.